Hey, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wanted to share some questions that I received from somebody, and to keep it anonymous, we were going to call that somebody B. So B sent me a question, but I want to kind of like frame the question that she had sent to me, and just by saying what I had asked. So my question to this person was, what are three different challenges that you're experiencing in your life at different areas or different somethings? And then what is it that you're most wanting? Ask me a question. It's like, what is it that you really want to experience? Okay, so, and the reason why I said I'm telling you that they were a little bit more than just a question is because these things all have some relatability. So I'm just going to take a quick second to read this. Her question was, B's question was, I'd like a clearer picture of what to pursue in my life next and the steps to get there. So I'd like a clear picture of what to pursue in my life next and the steps to get there. Now, that's a pretty cool question. And I'm sure there are tons of people out there, including myself at times, where I'm looking for what's called my purpose. What am I here to do? What do I want to do next in my life? I've accomplished this, or I failed at that. What is next for me? And in that, what next thing is, I'm looking for something that inspires me, that fills me with joy and happiness, something that I don't dread showing up to every single day. I just added that in there. Now, let's just talk about the challenges that B listed. B listed challenge 1 as holding back. B listed challenge 2 as procrastination, and challenge 3 as the fear of judgment. So why do I find this super fascinating? Well, let's go back to the question. I'd like a clear picture of what to pursue in my life next and the steps to get there. Now, can we see together that the challenges that B is experiencing, the challenge of feeling like she's being held back or she's holding herself back, the feeling of, or the action of, or the lack of action of procrastination, and then this fear of judgment. Now, these three challenges are literally leading this person, is leading B to not having a clear picture of what they want to pursue in their life because they have these fears that are underlying, and they have these additional challenges that they keep recirculating. Let's just look at real quickly the fear of judgment, right? Now that's a big fear. And I grew up as a little child being judged or feeling like I was being judged on a regular basis. Now, whether that was from my parents, who probably were not, but it's how I felt, right? Not exactly what was said and done, or from teachers, or from people that I was supposed to look up to, or just well, let's call them acquaintances, because I'm not sure that they were friends. But this fear of being judged, and this fear then, which is literally of not being good enough, and if you kind of whittle that down and you kind of work the fear of being judged down, you eventually get to the ultimate fear of not being loved. Now, can you see how that happens? A fear of being judged. Okay, why do you fear being judged? I fear being judged because people won't like me. Okay, well, if people won't like you, what are you afraid of if they don't like you? They don't like me. They don't want to speak to me. I said, okay, well, if no one wants to speak to you, what does that mean? Oh, they don't care for me. If no one cares for you, what does that mean? And you whittle this down, and like eventually you get to being afraid that you will be unloved. So you have this fear of judgment that is underlying as a foundation for being held back, because as B would be feeling this fear of judgment, B would also then be holding themselves back, okay, because of this underlying fear of being judged. Because any movement forward would mean that somebody's going to judge that person on their actions that they took to get them forward. Whether forward was the right step or the wrong step is irrelevant. What's most important is why we're being held back is because we're doing it to ourselves because of underlying fear. Now, the fear, not the fear of the challenge of procrastination is something that we all probably experience at some moment in our life. Other people experience it more, and some people experience it less. Some people experience it on such a regular basis, they procrastinate everything. I should do this, I should do that, I should do the other thing. And before you know it, you're shitting all over yourself. It can be quite a problem. So why would you procrastinate? And the reason is because, again, the fear of being judged. I'll just put it off because if I do procrastinate this something, okay, if I just avoid it and push it to the side, I don't have to deal with it now. And then I don't have all these other outcomes that may occur because I've done that or I've taken action on that. So I just procrastinate that until later on, thinking that I'm going to feel better about things when in reality, I'm just living in a state of tension because I'm putting off what I know I need to be doing. So in that state, B is having a difficult time seeing a clear outcome of what B wants to experience in their life. What do they want to do next? Because all their next actions have this underlying fear of being judged. So what do we do in this situation? Well, B, I have some really great news for you. Now that you're aware of what is actually going on, now that you have woken up to the fact that, well, you don't have a clear picture because of its underlying fear, then we need to work out for yourself what the worst case scenario is with this fear of being judged. If people don't like you, some people may not really love the actions that you take. But does that really matter in the outcome of who you are becoming? Because as a matter of fact, if you are really into blue shirts, there is somebody in the world who hates blue shirts. And when they see you, they're going to judge you. Oh, that chick with the blue shirt, or that guy with the blue shirt. They just aren't going to like it. But you are into red shirts and you really love red shirts. And that's the way you want to vibrate, be in your red shirt. Well, the fact is, there's going to be heaps of people that like red shirts, heaps of people that don't like red shirts, heaps of people that like blue shirts, lots of people who don't like blue shirts. And at the end of the day, you cannot control any of this. See, that's the key element, the fear of being judged, is that you have to eventually, once you're waking up to the fact that, this is the underlying fear that is creating a stopping point or a clog in my system, preventing me from taking the next step, causing me to procrastinate, causing me to hold myself back. Wow, I'm awake to it now. And once you awaken to it, you need to move to the second stage of the process. When you look at my quantum magic formula, my 5A process, as soon as you get into this second stage, it's acceptance. And what is the first step of this acceptance? Don't worry about the things that you cannot control, because you can't control what you can't control. So hence, it's just best to be you. Best to be you at all circumstances. Now, if you've listened to one of my other podcasts before or one of my other clips, you will know that the acceptance has 3 different steps. The first step is you have to come to the realization is that you cannot control what you can't control. So why worry about it? The second part of acceptance is look for the gifts. Okay, what incredible things are happening to me in my life because of this situation, because of this person, because of this event, because of this thing. Could easily been that I finally have woken up to the underlying cause of what is causing me to hold myself back is this underlying fear of being judged, and I can't even control that. How amazing. Because you'll never make everybody happy. But someone out there will be happy with the things that you become, the everything that you become. There are people that are happy with that, especially you. That is the most important person. The third step to acceptance is that you have to create a compelling future, which leads us, guess where that leads us? It magically leads us to B's question. I'd like a clear picture of what to pursue in my life next and the steps to get there. How cool is that? Now, let's just talk about that question, because just to finish this off, if you're looking for a clear purpose in your life, a clear next stage, it may not be your ultimate purpose. It may just be your purpose for now. If you're looking for this clear purpose, well, look, open your eyes and start journaling or writing things down. Think about it. What am I interested in? What do I want to pursue? What sensations do I want to experience next in my life? Because maybe what happens is we're looking for this thing. We're looking for this job. We're looking for this experience. But what are we really chasing? When you ask the question, I want a clear picture of what to do next in my life, What are you really asking? Are you asking about a job, an experience, like a bucket list thing, or a person, place? Not really. What you're asking about is, what do I want to feel in my life next? Well, if you just go to the feelings, well, I want to feel happiness. I want to feel excited. I want to feel intrigued. I want to feel fascinated. I want to feel curious about my next step, about the next day. I want to feel excited to wake up in the morning because of what is about to occur in this day or what I'm working towards. So first, my suggestion is start with feelings. What feelings do you want to experience? Okay, and then start to think about the things in your life that interest you or that might stimulate those feelings in your life. Because, I remember Deepak Chopra saying once, and I won't do it, his impersonation, I don't want to embarrass myself in his lovely, deep Indian accent that he has. But he does say, don't worry about, the how or the whats or the whys. Just ask the question. Continue to ask the question. And by asking the question, the universe will eventually start to answer you because you are not taking your eyes off the goal. You keep your eyes on the goal the whole time. So by asking the question, what do I want to experience in my life next? I'm super excited to find out this incredible thing that might happen in my life, for me, to me, by me, because of me. What is it? And just keep asking the question. And by the nature of asking the question, answers will come. And they may come in dribbles. You may not have the answer tomorrow. You may not have the answer in a week, but you might. You might. Absolutely. And what I suggest is just continually asking the questions to yourself. And then when things come to you, process them, breathe them in. Think about it. Do I really want to do that? Do I want to open my own business? Do I want to try a side gig online? And then when these things start to filter in, look for the next step in the situation, because you start to create a compelling future. The compelling future, which is the third step of acceptance, and acceptance is the second part of the quantum magic formula. So creating a compelling future is simply you asking the question and giving yourself answers about what you want to experience in your life. The feelings, the sensations, not necessarily the things and stuff, but the stuff that you experience internally that create your life experience, that create who you become. Then that naturally takes you to the third step of the magic formula, which is the access portion of the formula. And accessing things means that you do some research. It means that you look for information. It means that you go out and have an experience. Oh, I think maybe this is really cool. I'm really interested in this like online sales thing. I wonder if I could just find a product and flip a product into a side gig where I can all of a sudden make some extra money on the side. How cool would that be? And then if that interests you, well, then accessing information about that could mean you do some Googling or you do some research. It could mean that you watch some videos on that. It could mean that you do a free course of somebody who does those types of things and see if it interests you. It could even mean that you give it a good shot. You give it an attempt on something and see if that turns you on. See if that does something for you. It could mean that accessing information is that you ask other people who are currently doing what it is that you want to do. Could be via email, could be via telephone call. This person could be your friend. It could be your friend's friend. It could be an acquaintance. See, accessing information means that you are going to gain knowledge and you are going to gain some experiences. And so as you go through the process of continually thinking to yourself, what are the feelings I want to experience in my future? Okay. And the vehicles of those to create those feelings, those vehicles will start to appear. Then when the vehicle appears, then start to get information about it. Give yourself a little bit of knowledge. Get yourself a little bit of a teaser experience. It's like taking a taste test. Did you ever go to the ice cream parlor and do they call it that anymore? The ice cream shop, the ice cream parlor. Anyway, when you go get an ice cream, like and you stand there and you look at all the flavors. I do this with my kids and I think, I would like them all. Could I try them all? And you can actually. You actually can. You can sit there as long as you like and say, may I try that one? And they'll give you a little wooden stick and give you a dip. Here you go. That one's great. Can I try that one next? My kids will sit there for like 10 minutes trying like 4, 5, 6 different flavors. And you know what they settle on usually? The one that they settle on all the time. I'll have vanilla, thank you. I'll have chocolate chip mint, thank you. After trying all these like incredibly different flavors, they generally settle on the thing that they love the most regularly. But the point is you get to taste test them. And yes, at times I have seen them make a different choice. Accessing information, getting the knowledge and the experience is just like you going to an ice cream parlor and deciding what flavor you want. Even if that means you're going to get a double scoop, 1 scoop of one and 1 scoop of the other. So, B, let's recap. You feel like you're being held back. You're procrastinating. And you have this underlying fear of being judged. Now, see the fear as being your foundation, causal to the procrastination, causal to the sensation of being held back. And your question is how do I get a clear picture of what my purpose is in life? And how do I get there? Don't worry about the how. Start writing down the things that you want to feel and experience in your life and go from there. Anyway, thank you all. Signing out. Have a great afternoon, morning, evening. Until I talk to you next time.